Hey, what's shaking, folks?
What's up?
We are back
Going on?
for yet another week. We are one episode away from episode 50 of Fallout Shelter. I know that we took quite a long break in between, but we're back, and this is, I believe, episode 5 or 6 now with the new format with the four of us. It's been going good. I think we're starting to hit our stride a little bit. It's kind of difficult, doing a podcast or any type of recorded format with more than just two people, like let's say a host and a guest, or just two hosts or co-hosts. When you have those 4 people, 3 or 4 people, there's a matter of timing and everything else, and everyone's trying to catch a flow. But I think last episode, the episode on Apple, where we were talking about Apple, we basically turned into a bunch of fucking fanboys. Really kind of hit her stride, and I think it's going to be I think this is going to be good. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great, awesome, man.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So
getting ready for all this nonsense coming up here. You know what I mean? We got 1 month for the election, so I'm staying that much farther away from social media because I don't want to hear everybody's opinion, because everybody's right on social media. I've had friends that have lost friendships over social media. They don't talk to each other anymore. It's crazy.
Well, we've discussed this before, where it's like, if you don't agree with me, if you don't agree with what I say, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, especially when it's coming to politics. Do people not understand that both sides are so fucking wrong right now? They really are. I think, like, if you have any type of rationality to the way you think, you have to be able to see that both sides have completely let us all down during this whole thing. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a disgusting mess, which with this virus that's been going around. It's disgusting the way that they're both just playing side on side with wear a mask, don't wear a mask, lockdown, no lockdown. They don't believe they can't believe their own bullshit. Like,
well, how in the world is the American people, the government, even after this election, how is anything going to get done? Okay. No. So they've hated each other for the last 4 years. They're totally killing each other right now. So after the election, it's going to be like, okay, guys, let's all be friends now. Let's make it. Our government is so fucked up, man. How do you get anything done when you have 2 parties that totally disagree on everything? How do you get a
reality TV show?
Something needs to happen here, because nothing is getting done.
No.
No matter what, even if you can come up with the most logical solution to any problem, whatever the problem is, it doesn't matter. No matter how logical it is, the other side will disagree.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fucking wrong, man. We're not getting anywhere, right?
Yeah. They all disagree just to disagree. There's no content to, and dialogue and just none of that shit happens.
Well, and we're in such an instant gratification society that media really needs to be held accountable for what's happened, because they're the leading cause of what's been going on.
I don't know how they're not being held accountable for this. They have caused a lot of fucking issues in the past, 6 months.
Yeah.
Within 6 months, the media, and it is the media, it all boils down to the media, has completely destroyed not only the States, but other countries as well. Because what's going on in the States is directly affecting other countries, which fucking makes me sick. It drives me fucking up the wall. Other countries are paying for this bullshit that's going on in the States right now, and that's what it is.
Yeah, and the data from the States is so skewed and so inaccurate. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
News isn't news anymore. It's all fucking opinions. And what's funny is like, you have all these big tech companies, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, and it's like, it seems like every 6 months the governments are fucking doing their checks and balances and having antitrust fucking meetings and shit like that. But
Yeah.
nothing happens with these media companies.
No,
Nothing.
fuck no. No, nothing. Yeah, media really needs to be held accountable because number one, it was the virus. Then it was this whole George Floyd bullshit. And now you name it. There's been 3 people in the same type of situation as George Floyd, where they spin it as these people are saints. They've done nothing wrong, right? White cop kills black unarmed man.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it's like, you know what? That shit's got to stop. And people need to stop falling for those traps and buying into it. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I find it really hard to believe that when a person can actually believe that. Do you know what I mean? There's no way. See, right now, what's been going on, and you can see it with both sides of the Liberals and the Republicans, even in Canada as well. Both sides have taken some sort of fucked up stance, and it doesn't matter how illogical it is. They will stick to their guns on it. It's this pig-headedness and stubbornness of just picking a side, just to pick a side, that has led us down a path that I don't know how the fuck we get back from.
Yeah,
it's all about proving the other person wrong too, and not proving ourselves right.
Yeah.
They're just attacking each other instead of building a case.
But that's all it is. It's just, if you go on Twitter, onto any one of Trump's tweets, any one of them, you have these people, and they're liberals, that the Democrats, and I'm not picking a side either, but you can clearly see that they're Democrats. They keep posting the same thing, and it's different people posting roughly the same thing. You killed 200,000 people because you didn't stop, you dumb. There's no way you believe that.
Yeah.
No, 200,000 people in the States have not died from that virus. The CDC has already come out and said that those numbers are skewed. That's right from the source, has said that it's skewed. So why do you keep saying that? Like, I don't understand. And it's not just social media. You hear people say it too. It's like, oh, well, because he didn't shut it down fast enough, he's responsible for 200,000 deaths. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah.
It's like you're just saying things that you know are false just to say them, to make that person look bad. It's like nobody's even trying to hide the fact that they're lying. Like everyone's just lying and basically at this point they're believing their own lies. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how the fuck we get back because it's really fucked up.
It's funny because, and I'm not taking sides here. It doesn't matter which side you're on. It's just you see how biased. It seems like there's a heavier population of Democratic lean news outlets out there.
Yeah.
Like look at the Pelosi shit with going to the hair salon, right? And she came out and she's like, oh, I was set up the whole 9 yards. That fucking news story died within 2 weeks, tops. But if Trump or one of Trump's kids fucking opened up a hairstylist to get a haircut when it's supposed to be shut down, oh my, that shit would be fucking running full steam right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full fucking steam. And it's like, come on, like, just report the news. There's a local shooting or a local fucking, robbery or, this fire police station did these fundraisers. Like, just report the news. Like,
I'm so sick and tired of the polls too, because the polls don't mean shit right now. There is such a silent majority on both sides that aren't even speaking their mind. So when these media outlets are throwing these polls on who's winning what state, it means nothing right now.
No.
You're not going to know until November 2nd what's really going on,
Exactly. All of these, that's originally what we kind of wanted to talk about, but we kind of skewed into this, which is fine. I saw a news article. I'll go into it. Okay, so, and it's nothing really that I overly care about. It's just, I find it so interesting that people will read news or they'll write these news articles and the shit doesn't mean anything. So this is titled "Dollar's Recent Direction Points to Biden Win." So, a weaker dollar in the 3 months ahead of the election typically favors the incumbent party, while a stronger dollar has been good news for the challenging party. Okay, time out. Now, first of all, this is not a regular election. This is not a normal election year. This is something we absolutely have not seen before. The level, like it's almost like we're on like in a cold civil war, and it's real close to breaking out to a hot civil war. It's really fucking close because these two sides that people are picking are, it's so locked that nobody is hearing anyone else's side. But what I'm getting at with this is they write these fucking news articles, and I know this doesn't really mean anything. It's kind of proving the point, like they're just writing shit to write shit. It's like anything for clickbait, right? It's like,
yeah.
There's no way that would point to a Biden win. We don't know anything about Biden's campaign, about any type of platform. He's got nothing. We haven't heard anything.
You can take whatever metrics that have worked in the past 100 years for elections and throw it all out the window because nothing matters with this year. Because the world is there's just so much crazy shit going on. You can't take any data and extrapolate it and adhere to what's going on right now and think that you're going to be able to make a right decision on who's going to win. No, yeah. It's such a crapshoot right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's such a silent majority out there that doesn't want to say anything because they don't want to get smashed by social media. And a lot of people are keeping their mouth shut until November 2nd when they're going to go out. And here's the other thing that sucks. Whoever wins this election, you already know the opposing party is going to say, no, there's something wrong. So, there's ballots were thrown out. It's going to be a fucking joke, man. So whoever wins November 2nd, it's going to probably take another month of all the back and forth of saying how the election was rigged, how ballots weren't counted, the mail-in vote was all skewed. It's a fucking disaster, man.
Okay, so November 2nd, November 3rd rolls around, election happens. There's a couple of outcomes, right? So first outcome, Trump wins. The states is going to burn, man. People are going to riot. 100%. We know that. That's a given. That's an absolute. There's not a doubt in my mind that there's going to be mass riots. It's going to be fucking bad, okay? So that's outcome number one. Now, outcome number two, Biden wins. Now, you tell me that Trump will actually leave the White House? He'll leave without force? I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't
Yeah.
Can just leave and just be like, oh, okay, I lost, fair and square. No,
it's funny because it's true.
Yep.
And then they're going to find one little where there was a legitimate error in counting something, and it's going to snowball.
So 100%, man. Like this election, I bet you it takes a fucking year to finalize. I bet you it does, man. Until it finally just goes to one side or another. Like whoever wins, like it'll finally be like so. 2020 has been a shit show. So 2021 is going to be that. It's going to be a full year of bullshit. This isn't over anytime soon, man. It's not. There's no way. Because like I said.
I wonder on November 3rd, the day after the election, what's going to happen with the market. Like say Trump loses, right? Because we've been incredible well until this year. Yeah. So I wonder if it's just going to take a huge shit the next day.
I think they'll fucking halt it. I bet you they'll halt it, man. I bet you it comes screaming down so fucking fast and it'll make your head spin if Biden wins.
Yeah. Man.
I don't see it being overly good for the market. But you know what? Like, here's what I would do if I was an American and if Biden won. Now, some people are obviously going to disagree with this because they are full-blown rah Democrats. I would say if Biden wins and Trump just leaves and the Biden presidency kind of goes on and it is what it is, which it's not going to happen. But if I would take those 4 years and come up with an exit strategy to get the fuck out of the States. I really would. And you can look back on this over the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years and see the tailspin of what's going to happen in the States. And I'm not saying like doom and gloom, but I'm saying like all of this has been for something. And if you can't see that, you're fucking blind. All of this past year has been for something. And it's not a conspiracy theory. You can see it. You can see that they're lying straight to our faces. You can see the evilness that's going on in the background, because it's not in the background anymore. It's right front and center, right in our faces. There's something obviously going on. There's a bigger picture play here that we can only speculate as to what's happening. But I think we can all agree. Would you guys agree that there is something going on, whatever it may be? I don't know what it is, but there's something going on. There's a bigger picture play here. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think there's an agenda with Biden and his VP pick. I mean, obviously, if you can't see what was going on there and what could possibly happen if he gets into office, somehow he isn't able to perform anymore and he has to step down. Well, guess who takes over? A female, non-white person. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Exactly, and that's such a. It's like that's so planned. And it's just like, how about you just pick the right person for the job? That's all I care about. Like, especially after what we've been dealing with the past 4 years,
Right.
Love them or hate them, with Trump, it's been really volatile. It's been one of the most volatile times, especially in recent history, not just in the market, just in general. It's been volatile, right? There's been high tensions around the world. International relations and everything else. And I just don't understand. Like, this is the best we've come up with. Like, Kamala Harris, she's fucking horrible. Like, some of the shit that she's done in her career is like, what is going on, man? Like, you want to lock up and arrest single parents because your kid didn't go to school that day. Oh my God, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
You know, like that is so fucking crazy that's what you're electing with one of the most powerful positions, if not the most powerful position on the planet. That's
like on that Rogan podcast where those attorneys that were on there about overturning convictions and shit like that. Like,
yep.
She has it. Like, she's so about her win stats that the whole DNA testing fucking process is a shit show because she doesn't want to overturn her wrongly convicted fucking cases.
Yeah, that's fucked up. When you have someone in power like that can't admit that they're wrong, even on like when someone's life hangs in the balance. Think about that for a second. Let's say you made a mistake, Tino, Ed, or Jackson. You made a mistake. And you know that you were wrong. And someone was about to get fucking killed because of the mistake you made. Now, you're not going to get shot or killed or whatever when you own up to it. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to have to eat a big pile of fucking shit, right? You're going to have to admit you were wrong. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Would you admit that you're wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But someone's life that you just completely fucking destroyed. And it's like, if you have someone in power that's like that can't admit that they're wrong, when it's just a regular person's fucking life, where you made a mistake, you made a mistake, and it happens. Shit happens. Like, evidence gets fucking mixed up and this, whatever the case may be. It happens. But when you know that you're wrong, you have to fucking own up to it. That poor motherfucker is rotting away in jail, away from his family, for something that he didn't fucking do. He didn't do. And you know, like you motherfucker, you know that you're wrong, but you're just like, no, I don't want to look bad. The fucking ego That's like next level stuff, guys. That's something that, man, I don't know how people sleep.
Well, how does George Bush still deal? How does he still live with himself? He's the one that said Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. That's the whole reason we went over there, and all those American lives that are lost, and still we're losing because of that fucking guy.
Yeah,
And he's out
absolutely.
there living his own life. He's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
But at least, okay, now with that, and obviously not defending that, but at least you can see there's some sort of a gain from that. There's a lot of money in war. There's a lot of job creation in war, blah, 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 right? But what I'm saying with Harris is not overturning those convictions. There's no gain there. She's not losing anything. Like, I can understand why, let's say Bush doesn't want to admit that he was wrong. I get that. There's a lot of money. Money makes the world go round, period. End of story. But with Harris, and that particular example, that's such a massive finger point to her character, because there's nothing to gain. There's nothing to lose. You're not going to lose anything. It would be in the media for all of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes of shit, and you could save a man's life that's wrongfully accused. Like, that's so crazy, man. But that's who's going to be president, because she will be president. It's not going to be Biden. There's no fucking way. The second it's all said and done, he will step down. 100%.
They'll have her run it from the background. I mean, regardless of who your candidate was, and I give two shits of what sides people on. Like, look at Bernie. Whether you agree with his ideas or not, the guy is running on all 8 cylinders. He's very intelligent. Fucking popular as fuck. And Biden gets picked over him. Like,
so there's something that right there that tells you there's something clearly going on. Very much so. And that, to kind of bring it around full circle to what we were talking about before with this whole virus, I don't think there's a person out there that has any type of sense to him actually thinks that there's a problem with this virus. We all know, don't we, that it's not what we thought it was. At first, hey man, maybe you thought it was real bad. I get it. It seemed really fucked up what we were seeing, all these videos coming in from China. I get it. And it was spreading like wildfire. But in the course of time, we do know this, right? Like,
well, I'm biased because I have 2 people that are close to me that have had it. One is my aunt, and I just want to run this by real quick just so you guys know where I'm coming from. My aunt is 96 years old, full-blown Alzheimer's, has an aneurysm on her heart bigger than the doctor said he's ever seen before, could explode any minute. She's 96, right? Well, she got it. She's fine. One of my best friends in Las Vegas, love the guy to death. He's obese, probably 450 pounds, has all types of breathing issues, has pneumonia. He got it. He's fine. So what does that tell you? Number 1, the virus isn't as bad as they say it is. Number 2, the testing's wrong. How many false positives are out there? You know what I mean? How many? If these 2 friends of mine, these 2 people close to me had it, and they're fine, what does that tell you? I don't know. The data is so fucked up, man. You can't.
Well, no, and I haven't met anyone personally that has got it and died. We do know someone in the room that his father passed. His father or his uncle? I can't remember now, man. Sorry, Chris.
I think it was his dad's friend. Oh, I thought you were talking about Jake.
Oh, okay. But from what I remember him saying, they were really fucking old. Like, they were old. So, and there were underlying conditions. So what was it? Right? The fucked up before 1 second. So do you guys remember that fucking joker that was in the room? And I was talking about the virus. And he said, I personally know. Now, remember, personally know means you personally know them. Okay? not social media. That doesn't, you don't know that motherfucker. Fuck off. I personally know 5 people under the age of 40 in great health that have died from the virus. No, you don't. Why are you saying that? There's no fucking way. If that's the case, those stats, I wouldn't even want to begin to comprehend those stats.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
full of shit. You don't personally know. Don't say you personally know. That's one thing I've noticed with throughout all of this. Everyone personally knows.
Yeah.
No, you don't. It's not, you don't, that's personally know. That means that is someone that you physically speak with all the time.
So my aunt and my buddy, Ronnie, I personally know. They had the worst underlying conditions you can imagine. The worst. They should have both died, and they are totally, they're okay.
They're fine. Yep.
So, I don't know, man. You know, like, and here's the other thing, cases. Everybody, they keep throwing out the number. Oh, it's so many new cases. What does that mean? Are they sick? Are they in the hospital?
Yeah.
Are they fine? Do they have underlying conditions? Whatever. What are cases don't mean anything. How many, they don't say that about the flu, how many cases there are, because nobody cares, because they know when you get the flu, most likely you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to stop saying cases. I hate that. That drives me absolutely up the wall. It means absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Because cases, I don't understand at this point, and I'm not a doctor, right? But I consider myself a pretty logical person. So if, fuck, I completely lost my train of thought there, God damn it.
Well, if I hear cases, I'm thinking of like incurable fucking disease, or, you know, your medical records need to go to panels of fucking doctors because they just can't figure out what's wrong with you. To me, that's a case study that's long term, not the fucking flu, right?
Yeah, I completely lost my fucking train of thought there, God damn it.
Yeah, you were cooking, man.
No, I know.
What's fucked up is, you know what's funny is, so I mean, I was saying it earlier on the CDC website, like you get marked as a corona tick, whether you pass away from any other reason or you just get tested, you're fine. But because you have an antibody from a different version of the corona family, it's a fucking coronavirus. They flat out say it on the website, right? So, but I mean, you know the numbers are going to be skewed. How much, you know, is unknown because they'll never fucking admit it. But you know there's definitely room for error, you know. And you go back 2-3 years ago, even further back, it doesn't matter, before this shit, you know, if anybody had an underlying condition and they got the normal flu and they passed away from pneumonia or, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, it's like, oh, that sucks, you know, but, you know, the flu is fucking horrible, you know, it can happen. I mean, I remember I was 8-10 years old, I mean, I was a young kid, and we were living in these apartments, and this kid, I remember his name. His name was Louis. He was a good kid. He was like 2 years older than me, and he got the flu. And his parents were scumbags. They didn't take care of their kids at all. I mean, that as a kid, I knew that. And the kid, he ended up passing from pneumonia, from complications of the flu. You know, so if a 12-year-old with, you know, I don't know if he had a compromised immune system, but let's assume not at 12.
Yeah.
I mean, if I saw he was a healthy kid, you know, just shitty parents that didn't take care of him properly. You get the flu and you get complications of a pneumonia and pass away at that age. I mean, anything is possible, you know. I think just everybody's a little too panicked because of all the media bullshit and, you know, the false numbers, and just fucking move on.
Like the thing is, at the beginning when this all happened and people were flocking to the hospital, it was because they were scared shitless. Right. Absolutely. Like, and we know some doctors that have said that we're not overloaded.
My buddy's the director at a hospital. He had it all dialed in where, you know, when back in April when they were trying to throw all these beds in these hospitals and ventilators. My buddy Scott, he's the director of a hospital. He says we have more ventilators than we know what to do with. We're not even using them.
Yeah. So, well, and then it come out that these ventilators, that the people that were dying were on the ventilators, and they were finding that the ventilators were actually doing more harm than good. Yeah. So it's like, why don't we have any idea what's going on with this virus? Why is it so back and forth? Masks or don't wear a mask, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask, wear a mask. No, wear a mask. You don't fucking know. And now you're implementing all of this new legislation about wearing masks. But it does, and that's another thing too. It's like now we have to social distance. Social distancing is 6 feet. That's what we've been told. It's a hair over 6 feet. Well, that's like pretty normal distance. Like people not understand, like, unless you're a close talker.
Unless you're a creeper.
6 feet.
Yeah, unless you're Tino.
Unless like 6 feet is right. It's right there. That's normal speaking distance. That's how far you should stay away from people when you're talking. You don't want to be fucking right up in their face. I fucking hate that. Like a close talker, holy fuck, get the fuck away from me. Like I can't, that drives me up the wall. So it's like, we're already social distancing, and 6 feet does not mean 20. Like these fucking people that you see when you're walking down the road, you don't have a mask on, and then they're walking down same side, and then they'll cross the street. Are you
happens to me all the time?
Stupid? Like, what is that? How stupid are you that you don't understand what 6 feet is? Like people don't even know what the rules are of this. If people would just follow like those actual rules, we could go about our normal lives. There's nothing that overly changes except for the masks. But so as for social distancing, then you don't need a mask if you social distance. And that 6 feet is normal. That's like normal distance away from another human being. If you can't go like this around, you're too fucking close. That's my bubble, man. Don't get into my fucking bubble. That's my space. And I've always been like that. Even before fucking, stay the fuck away from my bubble. That's my bubble right there, motherfuckers. Stay away. Like that shit drives me nuts. That's fucking 6 feet right there. That's 6 feet. Stay the fuck away.
Would do that shit in the fucking line, like 6 inches from me. Like, what the fuck do you need to stand that close to me?
Dude, you know what? It's really bad down here. There is no, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about the Costa Rican people, the locals here, and it's true. You can come into Costa Rica and you can go to a grocery store and they're fucking right on you, man. They have absolutely, and no, I'm not generalizing, because you can fucking come down here and see it for yourself. It's everyone. They're right on you. There is no, people do not respect personal space. Like you'll be trying to pay and they're right fucking on. Get the fuck away from me. What the fuck are you doing? But it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. Like zero respect for somebody's personal space. Absolutely. I'm just going to start fucking swinging my goddamn arms. I'm going to do that. Like
Tino Hyde dry humping fucking people in a Wawa.
Oh, Tino does do that. I've seen it.
Oh man,
fucking brutal. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how we get back. I know we keep saying that over and over and over again, but I mean, I've got to travel to fucking Canada here soon. I'm not looking forward to it because there's still a 14-day quarantine for whatever reason. Why is there a 14-day quarantine? That shit needs to go away because we just need to get on the train of herd immunity. We all just need to get it, just like the chicken pox, man.
Right.
Like just like the chicken pox, we need to get it and get it over with, man. Because we're like, they're thinking about locking down again, man. That's what gets me. How the fuck can you possibly tell people, we're gonna lock down again? It didn't work. It didn't work. And I don't care how forcefully you make people stay in their homes. It's not going to work because it's spreading somehow, some way, whatever way it is. I don't know. But man, there's no, could you imagine if they tried locking down again? But yet like all of these bullshit protests and fucking riots have been okay.
Yeah.
But you're going to tell me I got to fucking fuck off. There's no way it's going to happen. And it's almost like, is that by design? Do you want to instill martial law? Or like, what's going on? Because, man, there's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way.
Right.
That's to try and force people to stay home now, that's crazy. It's crazy.
It just does more harm than good.
It does. We just need to get it. We need to become immune to it. Get our antibodies. Like, period. Just like any other colder virus, because now we're coming into a new cold and flu season, and what it's going to be, COVID-20, right? Like this fucking, it's such bullshit. COVID-19. People got scared of this virus because they called it something other than the flu. That's what it is. That's what the fucking COVID virus is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what the fuck here? Why are people freaking, like, people need to like actually just do even the slightest bit of research, and they'll find out that this is just this year's strain of flu. And it is, period. End of story, man. Fuck, end of story, end of discussion. That's all it was.
Another shutdown would be completely bullshit. I mean, we're coming into, forget about fucking flu season. We're coming into holiday season, right? And this is a lot of big business, but definitely small businesses. This is their bread and butter, especially the brick and mortar places.
Yep.
You know, not everybody is an Amazon, right? You know, Joe's fucking, toy shop and shit like that. And these businesses depend on this season, to carry them over into the next year, pay their employees, and so another fucking shutdown in this time frame would be fucking detrimental, man.
Yeah, they're not going to do Black Friday sales. Like, they're not going to allow those crowds to go into the stores for Black Friday. So how many of those businesses are going to be fucking shut down, or they're going to lose the majority of their income that weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, people down here, man, because it's really tourism based, they're fucking starving, man. They're fucking starving. It's horrible down here. Like, it's horrible. And the Costa Rican government, like, they're trying to open up, but it's needing these COVID tests. Like, you need a test in order to get in country. Well, most places you can't just say, I need a fucking test. Like, number one, some places, it's, I don't know, depending on the country, it's got to be doctor ordered. So now you got to go to a fucking doctor. Like, the amount of legwork involved to travel right now is horrible. And that shit's got to stop, man. Like, they've had massive protests here to open the fuck up. At least these protests, at least these people are fucking protesting for a proper fucking cause. Yeah. Like, I understand that, man. Yeah, people should be protesting to open the fuck up and fuck off with these masks and fuck off with these tests and fuck off. Like, all of this is nonsense. Like, anyone that actually believes that this is an actual issue, this is scary, you need your fucking head examined. You got to turn off the news. Like, it's not Ebola. Like, this is a basic flu is all it is. It's a bad one, granted, but for people that don't you hate when people say, oh, I had the flu, but it was just a cold? Like, there's a big difference between a cold and a flu.
Right.
And I've had the flu probably, 3-4 times in my life, and it's fucking horrible, man. Now, there's a stomach flu and then there's a head flu. Those, like, the last really bad flu that I got that wasn't like a stomach flu, I can remember that would have been probably 2009, something like that. 2008, 2009. I was laid out on my couch for 2 weeks. I couldn't move. I thought I was dying, man. I absolutely thought I was going to fucking die.
Dude,
they're horrible. Yeah.
I remember the last bad stomach flu I had, and I've, me, I've told you this, like, I don't take naps and shit like that. I just can't. Once I'm up, I can't fall asleep. And I left fucking work, like, I was dying, man. My fucking stomach was in pain. I was sweats, like, fever, the whole 9 yards. I was fucked up, and I came home and I passed out. And it was like the worst but funniest time in my fucking life in the recent events. Like, so I get this shit. And the wife comes home, she comes upstairs and sees me in a fucking just cold sweat in the bed, passed out, right? And then she brings me downstairs as I haven't eaten fucking all day. And she walks the dogs, and she comes back fucking covered in mud, because it was raining out, and it was like mid-November. Fucking dogs, Bruno and Sadie see a rabbit and take off and crack fucking mud.
Oh, no way. Oh, that's fucking funny.
This thing, that perked me up a little bit, but worst and best flu simultaneously I've ever had in my life.
That's fucking funny.
She'll never walk the dogs again without me, though. The new coat, oh, she was pissed. Holy fuck, she was pissed. Like literally head to toe covered in mud. It was fucking hilarious.
That's funny.
Jeez.
Well, I think on that note, folks, we can't beat that. So
Cool.
let's wrap her up. So,
All right.
so I guess the moral of the story here for this week's episode is get your fucking shit together. Quit believing this fucking nonsense, man. And if you are, like,
Here, man.
like,
Get off social media. Just live your life.
exactly. Do your
Think for
thing.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Be
Think
kind
for
to your
yourself.
neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks,
Later,
guys.
Adios.
See ya.